Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is day 1 of prep. So it's been an off season of 7.3 months, 32 weeks, which is 224 days, 5,376 hours. So that's how long my off season was in months, weeks, days and hours. I'm not going to let you guys know yet what show I'm actually doing. But I'm going to fill you guys in a little bit as to like the changes that are happening heading into prep, things that are staying the same, and all things like that. I'm going to take you on the full journey, the highs, the lows, absolutely everything. I'm super excited. Literally when I talk about it, I get goosebumps. So excited after such a long off season and a productive off season to see what we're going to bring. Full body goosebumps right here. So it's not day 1 on the Stairmaster because I have been doing the Stairmaster in off season, but I was just doing it in the week for 8 minutes hit, which was literally a minute on like level 14 and a minute on level 5. Whereas now we have switched to lists where I have to keep an eye on my heart rate. And right now my heart rate needs to be between 110 to 120 beats per minute, which means this Stairmaster is very slow right now. It feels really strange, but it's really important not to like rush ahead and whack it up on the level. I want to stay where I'm at just to keep my heart rate here. I imagine at some point we could potentially increase my heart rate so I'm burning more, or increase the minutes, but it's really important early on in this stage just to stay where we are with the heart rate. So if you've watched me through all my various other prep series on YouTube, you will see that part of the stuff that I do while I'm on here is generally I just get back to clients because it's nice and early, so first thing, or I just watch like YouTube videos, you know, stuff like to do with the sport, people, other pros posing, things like that. Just helps keep my mind occupied, but this is just going so quickly. So right now all I'm doing is client work, so yeah, it just gives me something to do. But again, team no hands. Always no hands on the Stairmaster. It's definitely much easier if you're leaning on it like this. So we make it a little bit harder just by coming off, and then we fall over like I did just at the start of this. So I've just come into the main area of the gym where I'm going to get on with my stretching, mobility, rolling, foam rolling, vacuums, and I think that's everything. I've already been for my morning walk this morning. The gym doesn't open until 8 on a Saturday and a Sunday, so this is new to my routine because I used to do my HIIT in the week, whereas obviously now this is cardio at the weekend, so it's sort of establishing a little bit of a new routine. But in the week I always go for a walk before I come into the gym and do my stretch, mobility, vacuums and everything, so that has stayed the same. Like I'm always here doing that anyway, so like it's no different, apart from the time is a little bit different. So yeah, I've been for my morning walk. I'm on like 3.5k out of 11k, which I actually find quite hard to stay under 11k or at 11k, which it has to now be at 11k, whereas before it was okay to be under 11k. So I took my watch off during the cardio, so that didn't add to my step count. But yeah, now it's just time to crack on and do my stretch and mobility as normal, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit more depth at another point. So this is actually a mobility program that I have. Like, I often get people ask me, oh, do you have any mobility exercises, or what do you do? But this is specific to my body and like the weaknesses I have on my body and areas that I struggle with. So it's not necessarily one that you should be copying. This is the weirdest exercise ever. It looks so strange. It's my toes. I'm like driving my big toe into the floor. Let's not zoom in on the feet. The people with the feet fetish. And I have to drive my toes into the floor. It's because since I broke my foot, I've just had issues with like this part of my foot here. So, yeah. Obviously, our feet stabilize us so much during our workout. And I always find from where I broke my foot on this side, I mainly use this side distributing my weight, where I get quite a lot of problems and pain like in my foot because of it. So it's almost like I've got exercises here as well to help like me balance that out, so I learn to not just literally walk all on one foot or drive through just one foot. So yeah, that's the reason why I have like exercises specifically for my feet, for my ankles, to strengthen like my Achilles, etc. So yeah, it's really important to me for the, through my contest prep, to keep my body in a good place with like mobility, with flexibility. And that's why I do this stuff. This isn't any different. Like, I haven't just popped it in because I started prep. Like, this is something that I do my entire off season as well, because the health of your joints and, your muscles is just so important, especially when we're putting them through so much. Again, another one that most people just start on prep, which I've done the entirety of my off season, is vacuums. Honestly can't stress the importance of routine. Like, it's really weird, like starting this prep doesn't really feel like there's any changes whatsoever in respect of like coming to the gym in the mornings. It literally, everything just feels kind of the same. People need to see these outtakes, don't they? Freaking hell. So I am actually so excited to begin this prep. Like, it feels different. Last time round, I had such a good season. Like, honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better season. Of course, coming off the back of literally breaking my foot, like that off season was rehab straight into prep, whereas this off season has been like it's just been great. It feels like it's been so productive. I've chosen to take as much time off as I can. As I sit here and speak, I've literally got like goosebumps over my whole body. Like, I'm just so excited to see what I'm going to bring, because I really have given my all. Like, for the past like 7.5 months, ever since I stepped off stage, all I've done is, you know, want to be better. I've stayed in the zone. Yes, I've had fun in my life. I've been on like 2 holidays, you know, made memories, or actually 3 holidays, and had such a great off season. But I have stayed as disciplined as I can. I've worked as hard as I can. I've literally dropped my ego and learned as much as I can. And I'm really excited to see this pay off in my physique. So yeah, with this prep, like I said, I want to show you guys the highs and the lows. And something I really want to do this prep is just really take it day by day and enjoy every single moment of it, because we only get this one life, and this is something that I'm super passionate about. And I'm sure, you know, one day when I'm older, I'm going to look back and wish that I never wished my life away. So I think it's really important not to wish the process away, but just to really take it day by day for what it is, and just try and find any positive in any moment, even if it's a hard time. I do thrive off the hard times, to be fair, on contest prep. Like, if I'm having a hard, tired, hungry day, because it almost is like a sign to me that more results are coming. But yeah, I'm going to really try this time just to be so super mindful, and just to enjoy everything that I do, and stay passionate, and just stay grateful. And I think that is going to be something that is really going to drive me through this prep in the best possible way, because yeah, it's just going to be a really good experience. So the goal is the Olympia, but I do miss the cutoff date for the 2023 Olympia, so it will be the goal for the to qualify for the 2024 Olympia. So yeah, that is the goal, and I'm just going to put that out there now. That's always the goal. Like, as an IFBB pro, that has been my goal from even an amateur. Like, that's been the goal, and now it's just about making these things become reality. Obviously, I know that things can go either way. It always depends on who turns up on the day, but I know that I'm going to put my absolute all into this, like I have done since I last stepped off stage, just so I have the best chance possible at reaching my goal.
You keep it natural, stay in your bag like you wearing satchels. Hey, baby, you a godsend, just missing the sandals. But still, you ain't missing much. Put your hands on my back, that's a different touch. Put your on my plate, I don't skip the lunch, I don't skip the brunch, not the dinner.
So in terms of my physique development, I just nearly fell.
Keep rolling, that's normal.
What is life? So in terms of my physique development, I feel like I'm in such a better spot compared to last time. Like, I feel like I've added so much more muscle. Like, I really wanted to improve my glutes, and I can just see like they're so much more dense, and yeah, so I am really overall happy with the position that we're starting in. I look a lot leaner as well, I would say. Obviously I'm not like really lean, because I'm like 20 pounds up from my stage weight, but that I'm holding a lot better, would you say?
Yeah, agreed. I know there's always that thing, like when we've spoken before, about have I done enough going into a competition prep, and I think that's a natural thing as an athlete. You always want to be better, and you always want to give more, and that's a normal feel. But when you look at it from the whole picture, from what you've applied yourself since you've been working with Meg, you've hit every variable you could, what's within your power. You've also had the struggles with PMDD, but that aside, when you look at your training, you've improved on that. You've got a better routine with how you structure your day from a coaching point of view, and I think all of those stuff now rolls into your prep to make it smooth, because you've got these areas locked in. Yeah, you still got your struggles with how you feel with your PMDD, but when you look at your physique from a standpoint now, you are going into prep a lot leaner. You can, like you said, you can see your glutes are fuller as well. Your quads aren't as big as mine now going into prep as well, because you're quite quad dominant. I think you would agree with that.
Yeah.
And your physique's a lot more balanced. So now going into prep, you can see with your lean start point, it sets you up for a better runway, and hopefully, all being well, a smoother prep as well, just because you won't have to, for where to say, smash yourself to get into shape. You can be a gradual process. You can hold on to the muscle tissue and you can enjoy it a little bit more. So it's exciting from my point of view. I'm not on prep, so I get to sit back, watch and support. And I think it's great that you're going to have this moment now for you, where it's all locked into working on you, because I know how much you want to help and support me, but when it's your prep now, the focus is on you, and I think that's an exciting position to be in from my point of view to watch this year.
So I think, like I already touched on, like one of the things that is great is like there's no real big change, is there? Like we already, both of us do the same thing every single day. Like we're locked into our routine, so it's not like I'm having to refigure things out and like add things in, and it's kind of just a case of just continuing to do so. And I think that does take the pressure off, and I think that's why it's really, really important in your off season to get used to a routine, so as when you go into contest prep there aren't like massive changes. And I think that's one thing that I'm really going to benefit from, because there's no like sudden pressure and it just feels like I'm just rolling into contest prep.
Yeah, agree with that. And I think it all comes down to as well is it's a lifestyle. So it's not so much, right, okay, I've got to switch from my mindset of off season, I can be a bit more relaxed, to now prep, I've got to change everything. It just becomes a normal lifestyle, and when it's like that, it makes the process a little bit more easier as well, because you don't have to change, like you said, a lot of things at once. So it's exciting. I think the only change what I think you've probably got now is cardio twice.
Yeah, so it's cardio twice a week, and I have had a calorie drop of I think around 300. My calories are around, let's actually pull it up.
I think she's probably happy about the calorie drop, because I don't think her appetite was right there towards the end, and I think that's just a normal thing in off season. It comes to a point where you have to push through that a little bit higher. It's not necessarily something you want to be doing for a long period of time, but when there's a need and a goal in sight, you have to go to those places where you take food higher. So with this pullback now, I'm sure you're probably going to see quite a big change over the coming weeks as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited, because you know, when you get to the end of an off season, you kind of find that it gets a little bit like sloggy, and your energy can actually go down a bit, where you're just always so full up. Oh my god, a fly.
It's a normal thing.
What was I saying?
Energy and full up off season.
It would happen to me. Anyway, yeah, so where you're so like full up in off season and your energy dips, I'm always looking forward to getting to that like sweet spot where you're not hungry but you're, I don't know what I'm saying, so you're not hungry but you're,
I'm just going to pitch in there. You get to the point where you're not as hungry, but you're also going to find from a performance point of view that you're probably going to start firing a little bit better as well.
It does go up, doesn't it?
Because you won't feel as sluggish. Sometimes you might be going into a session feeling a little fatigued. That's nothing to do with reduced sleep or anything like that. It's more from a point of view that obviously your digestive system's having to work a lot harder, whereas now when your food's being pulled back and you're going transitioning into prep, I'm sure there's going to be a good period of time when you're going to actually take more progress in the gym as well.
For sure. I think like, yeah, what you just said about the digestion thing is like a massive thing, because sometimes where you're like forcing, like I feel like I'm forcing meal 1 in, and then you've got meal 2 and meal 3 before pre-workout, and I feel like my body is literally working hard to digest that, and it can kind of take your energy away from your session. So I'm looking forward to like feeling a bit lighter going into my sessions, and I really am completely certain that I'm going to see my numbers rise in the gym as well. That is really, really true. But yeah, I am looking forward to the like 300 calorie drop. I kind of wish it was more, but that's because I always crave the hard stuff.
Don't wish away the food so soon.
Yeah, yeah, saying that, we went for a meal last night, didn't we? Because we usually have like an off-plan meal or something like once a week, And yeah, we went for one, and I think I like literally got into like 3 bits of sushi and was like, I'm actually done, which I feel like I'm going to really regret in a few weeks, I'm sure. But yeah, it just goes to show that, like, you know, my food relationship's at a really good point. I'm not like eating like unnecessarily, and everything's just controlled, and I like actually don't want food, so that's a really good spot to be in, I think, heading into prep.
Yeah, very true. And I think from my point of view, if I knew years ago, like amateur days, that I was going into a prep, I think, right, I've got to eat more food because
Same.
I'm not going to have this opportunity. But I think with the food, what we do eat, we do have a balanced diet.
Yeah.
So you have got a lot of food choice in it. It's food you enjoy, so
And
it's
you're
not
not craving, are you?
Yeah, so I think that helps as well. So even last night, like you said, we went out for sushi. You didn't eat much. I had to pitch in, you know.
But even you find it hard, like,
Yeah, but
so
I don't like eating. So.
we both don't like eating, apparently, which is, I just think, I don't know, it just goes to show how, like, you have to be passionate about, you know, like, and always keep your eyes on the end goal.
Got nothing to add apart from I'm excited to see this prep unfold.
So that is part of my day 1 on prep. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are just excited as I am for the rest of this journey. Please like, share and subscribe.